Ever since the day you were born, you've been lied to. Everything has been planned for you from the start. You've been told that we are born into a free world, that we are all equal. But guess what? That too was nothing more than just a lie. Growing up, I saw all of the adults around me. They were miserable. They were not living, they were surviving, blindly following a cookie-cutter path because they were too afraid to question the norm. It's time that we break free, reclaim the freedom that has been stolen from us. As a kid, I knew it made no sense to sit still in a classroom and listen to teachers who didn't know a thing about life, who were no less miserable than most people. Realize this: they make you waste 18 precious years of your life by forcing you to learn things by heart, memorizing information mindlessly only to recite everything for a test to get a good grade. That's what they do instead of teaching you real-world skills like discipline, finances, leadership, emotional intelligence, social skills, and no one dares to question it, of course. Everyone thinks it's fine to spend 18 years of our lives memorizing things that we'll forget a few days after the exam and will never need to use in our lives ever again. Understand this: the school system was never meant to educate you. It was meant to enslave people like you and I, to turn us into good, obedient taxpayers who would not dare question the system. You see, the first step to actually becoming successful is to deprogram your mind from all the garbage that's been put in it by modern society and the school system. Only then do you actually get a shot at becoming successful and breaking free from the system. Think of your brain like an SD card. When it reaches its limit, you can't add anything more into it. You need to erase all the old data first. Before 1865, slavery was still a legal practice in America. The vast majority of the population considered it was an acceptable practice. The slaves had to do gruesome work for their masters. They had no rights, no freedom, and if they dared to speak up, to fight back, to try to regain the rightful freedom that had been stolen from them, they would be put to death to teach the group a lesson. But let me ask you a question: did slavery really end? You have to understand that in certain parts of the world, some people work 12 hours a day in factories, breathing toxic chemicals all day long, only to make pennies and live in horrible, disgusting conditions. Some of the biggest companies in the world, like Google, Apple, have been named in countless lawsuits for being responsible for the deaths of many children for mining cobalt. The same politicians that tell you that you are an irresponsible citizen for eating meat because after all, you're destroying the planet. Those same people have absolutely no shame in flying in their private jets to meet up and discuss the future of people like you and I. When we were kids, we were told we needed to study hard in school, listen to the teachers, get good grades, then a good job, a mortgage, pay 70% taxes, and one day die. That's all there was to life. But now, the biggest companies in the entire world are laying off more and more employees as we speak. Google, Meta, Amazon, and other big tech companies have laid off over 100,000 employees in the last year alone. And trust me, with the rise of artificial intelligence, we are only seeing the tip of the iceberg. And with inflation constantly skyrocketing, less and less people are actually able to afford owning a home. With electricity, gas, and heating prices shooting through the roof in every part of the world, less and less people are getting access to those basic necessities. We are currently experiencing what financial analysts call the middle class squeeze. The poor keep getting poorer. The middle class is shrinking into poverty, while the rich, of course, is getting richer than ever. You see, the old paradigm that you have been programmed to follow ever since the day you took your first breath, that is, get good grades, get a good job, maybe it did work for your parents and for their grandparents, but that is no longer the case today. That paradigm is outdated, and I can guarantee that if you do what most people are doing, you'll end up exactly like them. Now, when I was a kid, I asked myself, how can I become free in this world? I observed the world around me and studied successful people as well as unsuccessful people. That way I could figure out what to do, but also what to avoid in my quest for success. Because that's the thing, a lot of people don't realize that the reason why they're not successful is because they're doing the wrong things entirely. Online, you'll hear a lot of people preaching consistency. Oh, if you're consistent, then you'll be successful. It's just a matter of time. All you need to do is to be consistent, and then over time you'll become successful. It's a guarantee. Let me tell you that this is single-handedly the advice that destroys most people and keeps them broke forever. You can work really hard, be consistent for years on end, decades, but if you are following the wrong path and being consistent at the wrong thing, none of that will ever matter. You'll never get what you want. Growing up, I saw my own parents torn apart by their jobs. My father working a day job that was draining his soul and stealing his life away from him, making him fall for many vices and addictions in the process. I saw my own mother working herself to death during 12-hour night shifts at the hospital only to be treated like a commodity. So I knew I had to do better. So I figured I need to make more money, then I'll be free. But at the time, I had only figured out one part of the success equation, which is money. Because you see, in this world, we need three fundamental things to be free: money, the ability to travel, and then control over our time. If you don't have any money, you'll be at the mercy of other people. You'll be forced to do gruesome things that no one wants to do. If you have no geographical freedom, should a crisis hit and you needed to relocate urgently, you would not be able to do so. And if you don't get to control your time, then someone else will. So I saw some people working their way up to the high-paying careers, becoming CEOs, CFOs, COOs. On the outside, those people might look like they have an incredible life. They make 6 figures a year, drive a brand new car, and they are respected by their peers. But what you don't see is the 90-hour work weeks, the 2 weeks of vacations per year that they don't even really get to enjoy because they're constantly replying to work emails and to colleagues. So they never really get to fully switch off and enjoy the present moment. The hobbies and the personal projects that they had to give up to climb to the top, the kids' missed birthdays, the high divorce rate, and the chronic depression and loneliness that these people have to live with on a daily basis. I figured that was no way to live, and I wasn't going to sell my soul to the devil to make 6 figures a year. And then one day, I discovered a guy who claimed to be making over $50,000 a month with his own online business. So naturally, I was intrigued by this. After all, it was such a bold claim. Was it a scam? Was it even possible? Could people really make that much money with just a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection? It turns out it was all true. So I set out to learn everything I could on online business. I did tons of research to figure out what worked and what didn't. I remember when I was still 14, just staying up late at night until like 5 a.m, just sitting on my bed with a notepad, my laptop, and a pen, taking as many notes as I could, watching videos to learn about email marketing and SEO. Back then, I had nothing. I didn't even have a business or a dollar to my name, but I was determined to find a way out. I knew I deserved a better life, and you do too. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. 99% of people, that includes most people watching this video, will never actually make a single dollar online and become successful. Why? Because they don't have the right mental programming. Let me ask you a question. What is more valuable, time or money? I hope you didn't answer money. Money is an infinite resource. Back when the US dollar was pegged to gold, it still had real tangible value. You could go to the bank and request to exchange your dollars for some gold. But since 1933 in the US, the gold standard has been abandoned. This means that gold was no longer pegged to the US dollar moving forward. So banks were free to print as much money as they wanted without being held accountable for it. During the COVID-19 pandemic all over the world, over $13 trillion have been printed. Where did that money go? To the rich, of course. 700,000 small businesses had to shut down their doors because of the lockdowns. Let's face it, they don't care about your desire to succeed. This brings me to the big paradox of this century. I personally call it the success paradox. You have to understand, it's never been harder to win than it is today, but it's also never been easier to win in the entire history of mankind. That's the paradox. Now more than ever, people have such a short attention span, they can't even watch a 10-minute YouTube video without scrolling down to the comments in the first 10 seconds. Instead of educating themselves to regain their freedom and to live the sort of life they say they want so badly, they prefer to mindlessly scroll on TikTok to get a quick boost of cheap, worthless dopamine. We've lost the ability to focus, and with it, our ability to become successful. And if there's one extremely important skill that you need to possess in this world to become successful, it's the ability to shut down all noise, all distractions, and just focus on getting stuff done for an extended period of time. But at the same time, starting your own business has never been easier and more accessible than it is today. Understand this, some girls are making over $100,000 a month on OnlyFans. That's more than what most lawyers make in a year in the United States. Nowadays, it's possible to become a millionaire in less than 5 years, starting from your parents' basement with just a laptop and a steady internet connection. And yet I hear some people complaining about having to work a couple hours a day. But you know what? That's good news for you, because this means that with just a little determination, a little focus and perseverance, you are already ahead of 99% of people. I really didn't have anything when I got started. Yet, I've been able to build the sort of life I had always dreamed of as a kid. And no one gave it to me, I earned it myself. The fastest way to guarantee success is to follow in the footsteps of a successful mentor. Now back then, I had to figure out everything on my own. But as much as I could, I read books from millionaires and watched countless educational videos from successful entrepreneurs so I could learn from them. I didn't have $10,000 to pay for a mentor, so I had no other choice. The thing with mentors is that they are very expensive. They've mastered their craft, so now their time and even just having a conversation with them is worth a lot of money. But not only that, they understand the immense value of their time. Most people don't. They think it's perfectly acceptable to waste their time as if it was an infinite resource. It's not. But you see, that is exactly why I decided to create the Fastlane Club. Here's a snapshot of exactly what you're going to get when you join the Fastlane Club. The 9 things that are keeping you stuck at the bottom 99%. If you do these things, you're guaranteed to never become successful. The number 1 fatal mistake you must avoid at all costs in business business as a beginner. If you make this mistake, you will waste years of your life and you will burn through all your savings. The hard work scam. How hard work conditions you to be poor, not to be rich. The gurus all lied to you. Not every business model is equal. If you pick the wrong business model, you are guaranteed to fail and you will never even make a single cent online. How to pick the business model that best fits your strengths. The secret weapon I use to do in 2 hours what it takes my competition 2 weeks to do. And trust me, no one has ever told you this before. How to make your first $1,000 online in just 90 days or even less. You get the step-by-step plan to follow. The art of making money while you sleep or while you're relaxing on a yacht with your family. As Warren Buffett said it himself, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll always be poor. A secret bonus module to help you get to $100,000 a year as quickly as possible. I've had people tell me I should charge $5,000 for the information contained in that bonus module, but you'll get access to it for completely free. A community of highly dedicated entrepreneurs who work for a better life, just like you and I. Access to me and to my team 7 days a week. Ask me anything. Weekly Q&A calls to answer all of your questions. With everything I'm going to share with you inside of the Fastlane Club, it would be completely unreasonable for you not to become extremely successful. With it, you'll be able to obtain every single thing you've always wanted in life. Money, status, respect, love, freedom. But it's up to you to thank you for making it this far in the video and to encourage you to finally change your life. I'll waive off the initial $500 subscription fee. So this means that you instantly get access to everything inside of the Fastlane Club for just $67 per month. You can cancel the subscription anytime. The average cost of a 4-year degree in the United States is $100,000. That's what you pay for old, outdated information found in a textbook. The Fastlane Club is 1,492 times less expensive than that, and the value that you get is gigantic. Every single day we are there to make sure that you become successful. Now if you want, you're still free to follow the traditional path, but don't expect to obtain outstanding results, unconventional results, if you are not willing to follow an unconventional path. Now what do most people do on a daily basis? The average person spends close to 3 hours a day on social media, but they're not producing content. Instead, they're mindlessly scrolling on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts, all just to get the next quick hit of easy dopamine. They watch business videos on YouTube and they give themselves a pat on the back for making progress. After all, if they're not watching Netflix series, it doesn't count as entertainment, does it? Wrong. But I'll tell you one thing right now. You'll never achieve anything outstanding and live a top 0.1% life if you keep doing exactly what you're doing. It's the things that you're already doing that sink your ship. Believe it or not, but the real danger is not what you're not doing. It's the things that you're already doing that sink your ship. And the worst part is that the more you do these things, the further away you move from your goals without even realizing it. Now, social media is great if you know how to use it correctly. You can definitely find a lot of valuable information on the web for completely free, but the amount of wasted time to find the right information is enormous. But that's not even the worst part. If you go on social media, you will hear one guy claim that dropshipping is the way to go, yet another guy is going to tell you that trading is the way to get rich. So how do you know who to listen to? All it does is leave you confused, paralyzed, unable to take action and to move forward. And all that time that you spend in inaction, another guy is getting started and is getting the clients, the money, the success, the status, the relationship that could have been yours. The Fastlane Club is the opposite of that. There are no hour-long modules beating around the bush, wasting your time, just to trick you into thinking you're getting something more valuable than you actually are. There is no outdated, generic advice you'd find on YouTube for free. The Fastlane Club is different. The content is punchy, straight to the point, and designed for you to take action, and most importantly, get actual real-world results. At the end of the day, the goal is to make money, and as quickly as possible. That's exactly why we keep coming back every month to update the content, which is again, just one part of what you get access to when you join the Fastlane Club. But what if you get stuck at some point? What if you hit roadblocks and you have no clue what to do? You see, you're not alone in this. I genuinely want to help you. I know what it's like to wake up every day completely drained and miserable. I found a way out, and that's why I want to share it with you too. That's why inside of the Fastlane Club, not only do you get access to a step-by-step plan to follow to find success, but you also get access to exclusive memberships by experts, and you'll be able to speak with me directly and ask me anything. And you'll also get access to our exclusive community of dedicated entrepreneurs, people who are on the same mission, people just like you who want more out of life and who refuse to settle for anything less. Understand this, you are the average of the people you spend most of your time with. When I was a kid, and even as a teen, I was the most ambitious person I knew. But I know that at the time, if I could have surrounded myself with high achievers, I would have gotten to where I am today so much faster. Luckily for you, you'll be able to accomplish that in a fraction of the time. But why am I doing this? What's in it for me? The truth is, money derives from value. The more value you provide to others, the more you help other people, and the more painful the problems that you solve for people, the more you'll be paid. That's why somebody who spends all day playing video games and eating Doritos in their mother's basement is broke. That person is not providing any value to anyone and it's not getting paid. So if I want to make a lot of money with the Fastlane Club and with consulting Fastlane, I need to help as many people as possible. I can't be selfish. So if you're ready to make a change and to seize this incredible opportunity that we have to build wealth today, you can join the Fastlane Club today for only $67 a month. Like I said, to thank you for watching this video this far, you won't have to pay the $500 fee to become a member of the club. The link is in the description below. With that said, as always, I'm waiting for you on the other side.